This is Centauri Stir Fry. How the heck are you? Hope you guys are being excellent to each other out there. Today, it's my first new comic book haul of 2020. That's right. Ooh, it's a moment I've been dreading for like about 2 weeks now because I knew there were some real stinkers in that pull list, but I just didn't have the heart to cancel them, even though I knew I should have because they're really kind of boring, honestly. And I just knew it. I just knew it was gonna suck. I'm not one of those guys that likes to like bash new comics. I'm not. I like to defend comics of all eras. But as one does, I was driving to the comic book store, drinking my wine here, sipping on it, placing it into the cup holder and undoing my seat. That's not true. I was not drinking and driving. I hitchhiked. There was a nice fellow in this big white van, unmarked van, with candy in the back, and he was nice enough to give me a ride, free of charge. And when I got out of the van, you know, my memory's kind of foggy, but when I finally got to the cash register and paid for my books, I was hit with instant dread. And I was like, oh no, here it is. I gotta read these things? Kind of a letdown, you know, kind of like my New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you guys had any. I had a few. One of them was to stop drinking. That's not true. One of them was to save money for X-Men #1. So far, it's gone horribly wrong, and I haven't really saved any money yet. I was supposed to lose 50 pounds, but it's not true. I put on 10 pounds. And on top of that, I've got like a bad case of depression and anxiety. But I'm not going to take any pills for that. Nope. No pills. No pills. I'm going to handle this the old-fashioned way with cheap boxed wine and drywall punching. Easy. Batman's Grave, #3. Batman's Grave, #4. We got Warren Ellis, we got Bryan Hitch, and they're delivering some pretty solid Batman, I think. Even though I'm still at a loss what it's entirely about. We got Batman and Alfred, they drink sometimes together, share some whiskeys, and it's just Batman getting his butt kicked constantly, especially #3. I haven't read #4 yet, but issue #3 is like, it's a whole fight scene, basically. This whole book is a fight scene, and it's great. It's refreshing. It's great. It reminds me of the old days, like the old Jim Aparo days, where like there would be like a 4 or 5 page fight scene. I love that kind of stuff. Beautiful art, and it's well written, even though I'm still at a loss of what's going on in this book. I dig Warren Ellis' style. I'm a big fan of Transmetropolitan and the Authority, and it's really cool to see these guys back together again, delivering some solid Batman, even though it's just like, what's going on? Joker, Killer Smile. Black Label. It's a big magazine format, which I actually dig. I like this format. I don't think I'd want every book to be this big, but it does work sometimes, especially when you have a really good artist like Andrea Sorrentino. Same guy who worked with Jeff Lemire on the Green Arrow series, and I think even Gideon Falls, I believe, same guy. Honestly, it's predictable. Like you're reading this book and you kind of already know what's going to happen. But the journey that takes you to that place that you're already pretty sure 95% that you know what's going to go on is actually kind of fun, and the art's beautiful to look at. So I really like this, and I think this format is cool. And it's fitting for great art, so I think it's awesome. You know, I don't know if we want to see Rob Liefeld in this size, but you know, maybe. The Last God, #3. Ooh, I love this book. I like the art, I like the maps, I like the songs. The Last God is cool. So if you're a fan of Conan, if you're a fan of Red Sonja, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, or anything nifty like that, if you're a fan of Krull, check this book out. Krull. Basket full of heads. Issue #3. Joe Hill. Here we go. The story's finally moving along a little bit more, but basically it's just her talking to a head in a basket. Daphne Byrne. Issue #1. It's written by Laura Marks, but it's drawn by the legendary Kelly Jones. I love his art. A famous, freaking awesome Batman and Deadman artist. And I think it's great. And his art in this is stellar, and it's great. It almost made me sad that we haven't seen more Kelly Jones in the last like 10 years. But the story was just kind of like flat, and it didn't really go anywhere. It didn't take you anywhere. My big problem with most comics right now is that they're written like TV show pilots, and they're storyboarding for Hollywood. It's just like, that's not what a comic book really is. I want to have something. I'm paying for a book to read. I want it to go somewhere. Even if it's just one issue, I really want it to go somewhere. It just feels like this is all set up, but beautiful darn art. Man, darn it. I absolutely liked it. Is that a thing? What do you think? I absolutely liked it. Penny, 86. New writer, finally. And we've got, what's his name? Tinian? George Douglas Tinian IV, Esquire. I'm not sure what his name is. Let's say you're reading this book and you're like, okay, well, let me try Batman out. You turn the page and then you get this. You guys see that? That's a drawing right there. That's a freaking drawing. And the colors are good. Like, the colors are really good in this book. Who does the colors? Domain Moreva. Okay, never mind. What sucks the most is he fights Deathstroke in this for like a second. Off panel, which is the worst. It's like, what's going on with these current comic book writers? So, okay, they do a couple fisticuff things, which is really, really bad action. I hate this. This sucks. And then over here he says, I know, now shut the bleep up and fight me. And then 3 pages later, the fight's over. But what happens in this is some really true emotional moments from Bruce Wayne when he's talking to, what's his name, Lucius. And he keeps talking to Alfred like he's there. And that was actually kind of touching. I think it had more emotional impact on me as a reader than anything previous to this. It felt real. So if you're a Batman fan, there's some good stuff in this, and then some kind of sad current stylistic choices that I hate, like off-panel fighting. You know, come on. Dollar Comic, Batman Adventures number 12, first appearance of Harley Quinn. Now, I have the original copy. Got a graded copy back then. But, I figured, hey, why not? I've actually never read it, so I thought I'd check it out, read it, and I don't know, just see what all the hype's about. Who's this Harley Quinn girl? And Bandits. American Jesus, number 1. Mark Millar and Peter Gross. And look at this. We have a little hipster Baphomet there for all you satanic man bun wearing, nipple clamp having Satanists. I don't know. But what's funny about this is kind of inaccurate. I mean, I think if you don't know, the traditional Baphomet has it's a hermaphrodite, so it has boobs, it has frankenbeans. So if you ever see like those hipster Satanists pushing that big old statue around to like City Hall or whatever, and you're like, you can call them out on them, like, you're doing it wrong. You forgot the boobs. To each his own. For me personally, God-fearing. That's where it's at. I'm all about it. This book's interesting though. So you have a modern retelling of the Nativity. So you have this virgin, and she's being led by maybe this guy who might be part of the Illuminati. I don't know. He seems to know a lot of things. Like he knows when 9/11 is going to happen and how they're going to do it, which is creepy. He said there were planes though. I thought it was weird because I really thought they were like explosives and direct energy weapons. But that's just me. Call me old-fashioned. Marvel. X-Force number 3. 4, and now 5. Here's a Greg Land variant cover with Colossus with a goatee. I would have preferred a mustache though. That would have been a little bit more ballsy. Thor, number 1. Donny Cates here. I think this came out last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. But this is a variant cover, and sure, it kind of looks like a Pinterest cover, like somebody made this and put it up on Pinterest for sale. But the current Thor in this one, he kind of looks like Jane Fonda. That really bugs me because she's a commie. Punisher, Soviet, number 2. Punisher, Soviet, number 3. And this is a great cover. Look at this. Ooh, this is hardcore violence. It's nightmarish. I think Garth Ennis is like a sociopath and he needs help. Because this book gave me the freaking chills. And I was just like, ooh, that's smarts. Yeah. So a while back, like maybe 10 years ago, I read Garth Ennis' 6 issues of, I think it's the first part of Crossed. If you've ever heard of Crossed, do not read it. It will make you less human. You'll feel hollow inside, and you'll just want to like drown somewhere. But this is on that almost same level where it's just like, wow, I forgot what Garth Ennis does. It's been a while. Ooh, I forgot that he's the guy that makes me like get the chills and get kind of sick and just like he makes me want to call my mom, Marauders, number 4. Oh, and a nice, beautiful Storm cover. I love Storm. What's Storm do? I think she shot somebody with lightning once. And didn't even kill him, which is weird because lightning usually kills you. Like blows off a toe, blows off your balls, or something horrible will make you crap your pants. Something bad happens. But whenever Storm uses her lightning, it's like people are just like, oh, ow, ow, ow. Stop it. Cypher Sword of Conan, number 12. To hell with you. No, there's nothing about this book that really excited me. Nothing brutal, nothing fun. No, you lost me with this one. Ooh, Spider-Man. This is the alien symbiont Peter David Greg Land book. Daredevil number 16. Still one of my favorite books out there, and this beautiful cover. It's Daredevil and Elektra getting down, because that's what D.D. whole Matt Murdock does. He gets down. And this whole series, 16 issues so far, I think he's gotten with 3 different girls. Man, 16 issues, okay? Man, that's crazy. It took me 30 years to do that. X-Men number 4. This book kind of ticked me off a little bit. Magneto says this while eating a juicy steak. We will buy your banks, we will buy your schools, we will buy your media, we will buy your politicians. And then, when we have bought all the rest, we will buy you, because you have taught us that everything has a price, and we are happy to pay. Then, when we have this influence, we will use it. We will make sure that the wrong sort of people, and you know who, no longer have any economic power. We will not allow them inside our institutions because it is important that they do not have anywhere to peddle their dangerous, outdated ideas. And that is how it will end, like a fire with no oxygen. Yes, of course, there will be still people who fear and hate us. They just simply won't be able to do anything about it any longer. So, thanks Magneto for becoming the enemy, the people that I despise. The manipulative, the power hungry. I don't know. This really hit me in the nuts. I'm not gonna use my teeth this time. Last time I did that, I got a weird infection, like blisters broke out of my face. I'm not sure. I still haven't gone to the doctor, and my wife won't kiss me anymore. Where's my knife? Where's my nunchucks? Anything. My shiv, my toothbrush shiv. Yeah, survived. Go figure. Tomb of Dracula number 1. This is a book I've been searching for. I was looking for like a 7 or a 6.5 or whatever, but I just could not find a good deal on it. So I picked this up. I had some eBay points, or bucks, whatever you want to call them. I bought some pretty big numbers off eBay last year, and they kind of started building up. And yeah, I was able to get this for free, so I'm pretty happy with it, even though it's a 5.5 and it's covered in new rings. I don't know if you can tell on on the camera, but it's like an oil spill. It's like I can't tell if that's Dracula or if it's a poor little seagull just covered in oil and you got to rescue that cute little bastard and put some Dawn soap on that because it's rough. This is probably the worst case of a Newton rings I've ever seen. It's everywhere. If I would have sent this out to get graded, I would freak out. I would be emailing people with capital letters. Got my low grade Dracula, which I'm pretty happy with. I'm fine with that. It's going to match everything else I got. Because I'm a classy guy. But, alright, so we got a statue giveaway coming up. That's going to be, I'm going to put that video out later this week. Haven't done it yet, but I'll put it together. And I'm going to write everyone's name down on a piece of paper, put them in a cauldron, like a witch's cauldron. And I'm going to turn my eye and draw them out like old school style, like what the cavemen used to do. Alright guys, remember, spay and neuter your pets, and Magneto is right. We'll see you next time.